You already know what time it is. It's Tuesday. Zeztz episode. Let's just get right into it. Because, man, there are things in this episode that are really good. So the episode begins with just a quick little recap of last week plus our mission. And then we get into like the physical new footage where Baku is immediately questioning what Nox said last week about the capsules having the powers to make bad dreams become a reality. And Nox continues to just drop like the most baller lines in this entire show as he basically tells Baku to stop being Zeztz and the nightmares will just disappear because presumably Nox will be dealing with them. But Baku's like, I kind of can't do that. So they get back into trading blows. As again, some great dialogue from Nox. I don't know why they just decided to make this man like have some of the best spoken lines in the entire show so far, but I ain't complaining. And using the power of the erase capsule, he punches the hell out of Zeztz, causing the impact capsule to lose its energy and Baku to de-transform. And then he uses the power of the erase capsule yet again to completely blank out all the other capsules, meaning that as of right now, Baku can no longer transform into Zeztz. And so he gets out of there after basically just styling on Baku for like 20 minutes. And then we get to see that because he no longer has any capsules whatsoever, the meteor strike sends out its second wave, destroying the rest of the space center. We get the intro, and following that, we see Baku just completely in distraught as he realizes he might have just failed this mission. He apologizes to Seiya in his own way, as we catch up with the two detectives who are now seeing the news for the first time about the space center being destroyed. And Baku is obviously going through it. I mean, he's having this whole like depressive episode, and all Fujimi can think about is stopping the nightmares, which causes a lot of friction between the three of them, to the point where Fujimi and the lady detective, I still don't remember her name unfortunately, straight up leave. They take down their sign and they go off to do their own thing. Meanwhile, Zero tries to lift Baku back up, but all Baku can point out is that, in a way, Nox was right. Code is pretty damn irrational. He never received any of that formal training. He basically is going by the seat of his pants. He doesn't know what to do. Yet he gets a call from Seiya, the kid he suspects is the dreamer. So at the playground, Seiya admits that he told his mom about Baku, and that she said he should formally thank him for, making sure he doesn't get hit by a truck the other day. And he also tells Baku, thank you for, giving me the ability to believe in my dream again. And that he's going to continue to love space more than anybody in the world. And as Baku takes a seat next to him, Seiya asks, what is Baku's dream? And Baku admits that ever since he was little, he loved spy movies. And though, unfortunately, he wanted to be one, he doesn't think it'll ever work out. And Seiya kind of brings what Baku said to him back around, where he says, as long as you love it, that must mean you're the best special agent out there, which, oh man, I love this little role reversal. It's a little sweet. Like, I feel like we can get a damn cavity from this moment because of how sweet it is. And, So Baku helps Seiya walk home, only to realize that Seiya's kind of coming up on hard times because his father's been sick, meaning that the restaurant they run hasn't been able to work. And now, not only having his own words thrown right back at him, but feeling, more inspired than ever, Baku's ready to head back. But first we get another very sweet moment, this time between Baku and his sister, where he promised her that he'll work harder to be a dependable brother. They're both in terms of like housekeeping, but also just like in everyday, day-to-day responsibilities. And she reminds him, as long as he doesn't put himself in danger, he can do whatever he wants. And mind you, she does know that he's a spy, but she hasn't told him yet. And so Baku heads back into the dream world, now feeling more motivated than I think he has this entire show so far. He and Nim run to Seiya's house, which is the location of his mind doors. And as he looks through the keyhole, he realizes he hadn't had to look for the nightmare, because the nightmare is a damn meteorite. Yes, much like the prison escape episodes, this is another kaiju-sized, what's the word? Kaiju-sized nightmare, that's the word. So, realizing that, I can't transform without any new capsules, he walks over to the machine and pulls out a second purple capsule. As he stares at the meteorite about to transform and stop it, Nox shows up and is like, come on, dude. We've been through this. I took away all your powers. Just give up. But Baku's like, nah, man. He decides to put that shit on as he activates the gravity capsule. So this transformation is a bit more unique than the others. As a reminder, Impact, or the green form, the green and red one, he kind of like metaphorically wiped the drool off his lips as he snaps and transforms. Stream, he just like tilted his wrist twice. And Recovery, he like had this whole like transformation pose. Here, this one, he does like a circle of snaps before transforming, which I like. It's interesting, but it's, I don't know. I think it's a neat concept, but it looks kind of lame. Yeah. Anyways, obviously with this being a purple form, it reuses Wonder as a base. The only new thing this time being these two like arm gauntlet dome thingies. Actually remind me a lot of Kamen Rider Ghost's Newton form or Edison form, whichever one it was that had gravity in that show. I guess orbs just mean gravity in Japan for some reason. So he and Nox get to trading blows, as they also start trading trash talk too. But Baku's like, man, now I'm going to continue to protect dreams no matter how much you might get in the way. As they see the approaching meteorite, Baku lifts Nox up using the gravity powers and slams his ass back down, disabling him just enough for him to spout off his mission and be like, I'm going to protect the kid's dreams, as he flies up into space to stop the meteorite. Oh, and yeah, he forms a black hole. I don't think I can understate how insane of a feat this is for only being the 13th episode of the show. Now, mind you, Kamen Rider Zeztz, he could only create black holes in like episode 38 with his Mark III form, Boost Mark III. Yeah. Zeztz is able to just do this in episode 13 without any major power-up? What the hell? So he finishes off the monster as it gets sucked into the black hole. And he tells Seiya, hey, continue having good dreams. But, unfortunately, Baku gets lost in the black hole. As Nim looks on and sees the black hole disappear from the sky, she realizes that Baku might not be coming back. And Zero confronts Nox, revealing his code number, which is number 4. Many people, myself included, thought that he was going to be like 10 or like 8 or something. 8 mostly because it'd be a reflection of Baku. Or 10 because his name is Nox, which has an X in it. But no, he's 4, which is random, but okay. And so, naturally, Nox insults Zero, pulls up the blick and tries to kill him, but it doesn't work. In the real world, Seiya continues to move forward with his dream, though it is soured by the fact that when Minami goes to wake up Baku, he doesn't, and she realizes, oh shit, something is wrong. So she confronts Zero, and he admits that Baku is likely stuck in a long nightmare. And then he says the most sinister shit imaginable. He's like, you can't tell anyone about this. If you do, I will dispose of you. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, he just straight up said, I'm gonna kill you. I don't think Zero's a good guy. Many, myself included, have thought this for a hot minute. But, like, this just confirms the fact Zero's a straight up menace. Because what do you mean you're going to kill the sister of your one agent that still seems to like it to some degree? And unfortunately, in the outro, every other capsule except Erase and Gravity are blanked out or blackened because they've been destroyed. And that was this episode. I'm not going to get into next week's previews yet. I will in like 2 minutes. But in case you don't want to be spoiled on that stuff, just like click off now, leave your opinions, So yeah. So next week, episode 14. I'm going to be honest, this preview got me more hyped than the actual episode. Yeah. It seems like the mission will probably be to take out Nox himself. But as we get teases of Baku's true past and what it was that caused all this bad luck in the first place. And we get a preview of his first upgrade form, Plasma. And as well as episode 14's title, Thunder. Man, I can't wait. Oh. That's not to say this episode is bad, even though I thoroughly enjoyed the preview more than I think the actual episode. This one was really good, mostly for its character moments. It focuses less on the action in favor of giving us a very sweet moment between Baku and Seiya by reversing their roles. Here, instead of Baku being the one lifting up Seiya with his words, Seiya is the one lifting Baku up with his words. And I really like that. And so, overall, I have to give this episode only a 5 out of 10. Not because it's good or bad, per se. It was just kind of average. Because, again, while there were things I enjoyed, other episodes do a lot more with their runtime than this one does. So, objectively, even though... So, it's like, subjectively, this is probably one of my favorites in terms of, like, story. In terms of form debut and, like, other just stuff in general, this gets pretty low, so objectively it's like a 5 out of 10 episode. But that's not to say it's bad by any means. But yeah, let me know what you thought down below. If you liked this episode, if you hated this episode. I'd rather you stuck around for the previews. Try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. But let me know what you think of the spoiler. Let me know what you think of next week's previews down below, because man, I can't wait for that episode. That's gonna be a good one. No, but I will see you all next week, or actually maybe even later this week. I don't know. There might be some plans coming out. But anyways, I will see you all whenever I have another thing to post.